Hello and welcome to this video on the Workplace Learning and Support Framework. My name is Dr. Karina Dancer, and in this video we're going to be taking you through step one of how to implement the framework. So this is where you will be becoming familiar with the principles and also thinking about what are the outcomes that you would like to see and the changes that you would like to see made within your organization. So I hope you find the information helpful. The first step in the implementation of this framework in your organization is to become familiar with the 5 principles of the framework. Your main guide to the Singapore Allied Health Workplace Learning and Support Framework is the guidance document. So in this document, we have a range of information and resources that you can tap on. So there is an introduction to the framework, also the purpose of the framework is outlined, as well as highlighting the importance and benefit of the Workplace Learning and Support Framework. So if you need any justification for why you're using this framework, that's a good place for you to have a look. The next section really just goes through the 6 steps of implementation, and it actually outlines the principles in detail. So each of the principles is going to be explained, as well as giving you lots of examples around those principles. We then have the references acknowledgements, as well as 3 different appendices, and these go through some of the outcomes, successful outcomes of workplace learning and support. So again, there are some additional examples that you might want to measure your organization against. There is also workplace learning and support individual reflective tool. So those people who actually want to look at it as an individual, there's an option there. And there is also further resources for the implementation of the framework, and I would encourage you to have a look at those because there are lots of links to other frameworks or other information that provides free templates. It could provide you different examples, so when you're trying to make changes in your organization, there's going to be lots of different ideas that you might be able to generate from those resources. To recap on the 5 essential principles of the Workplace Learning and Support Framework, so these are the principles that you might want to review your organization's offer against these different principles. So the first one is access. So workplace learning and support is available to every allied health worker. What we mean by allied health worker is that it's inclusive of the support staff as well as of the allied health professionals. Principle 2 is learning culture. So we very much encourage that workplace learning and support is embedded in the culture of the organization, and it's used to drive continuous improvement and service development. The third principle is well-being. So workplace learning and support, it focuses on helping the allied health workers with their job-related skills, but also their overall health and well-being, because we know that if the workforce is taken care of, then they are able to better take care of the people who are accessing our services. Principle 4 is quality. So workplace learning and support are of high quality, and not only is it around those job-related skills, but it's also around developing those skills to become an effective learner, an effective supervisor, mentor, or collaborator, or those working together with others. And Principle 5 is continuous improvement. Workplace learning and support are regularly checked, reviewed, and made better to meet the needs of the allied health workers and the people we serve. And we know that that development is going to change over time, so that is a continual process. We have outlined 8 successful outcomes of workplace learning and support, and then we have matched those against the different principles. So these are the things that we aspire to. So the first outcome is that every allied health worker experiences workplace learning and support at an appropriate time to enhance job performance, well-being, personal and professional development. So if that is something that your organization is aspiring to, then we recommend looking at principles of access. So that's 1, principles of learning culture, that's 2, and principles of well-being, which is 3. The second one is Formal and informal feedback processes are seamlessly integrated into daily practices. And again, these ones are matched against 3 different principles, so that of learning culture, well-being, and continuous improvement. The third successful outcome of workplace learning and support is that allied health workers seek out regular opportunities to advance their skills in learning, supervision, mentoring, and providing support. So we are very keen for allied health workers to not only develop their skills that they need for their job, but also the skills that they are needed to continuously learn about their job, but also to support others in enhancing their job performance. And outcome 4 is a positive workplace learning and support environment serves as a magnet, attracting and retaining allied health workers to seek and stay employed in these services. So this is really looking at that retention. So people want to look at your organisation and say, yes, that's where I want to work because I feel supported and I have opportunities for growth and development. The 5th outcome of success of workplace learning and support is that workplace learning and support opportunities are tailored to align with the scope of practice and experience of each allied health worker. The 6th outcome is that organisations and departments ensure that resources and tools are readily available to facilitate high quality workplace learning and support. Number 7 is that using relevant data, organisations and allied health workers co-drive continuous improvement in care quality, personal and professional growth, and the well-being of workers. And finally, outcome 8 is that workplace learning and support are recognised as key drivers of quality improvements in the healthcare system in Singapore. So to recap, we would encourage you in this first step to become familiar with the workplace learning and support framework, and that would be through looking at the guidance document and also thinking about what are the outcomes that we are hoping to achieve from any changes made to workplace learning and support. So please do review the full workplace learning and support framework. Please read through the framework and the 5 principles, and then when you are familiar with that, we suggest that you move on to step 2, which is where you will form your team.